guys, welcome back to another video, Drumhiller Farms. Today we're going to show you how we're feeding cattle in sub-zero temperatures. It has been down into single digits now all weekend. Today's actually the warmest day. It's just hit the double digits and the wind has finally died down, and we've been feeding cattle twice a day to keep their ruminants moving. Once in the mid-morning, once in the late afternoon, just to kind of keep everything working. If you can keep that digestive system moving in cattle, it actually keeps them warmer. So come along with us. We're going to have a little fun in the snow.
All right. Perfect.
All right, we already loaded up a bale last night with the Greg Judy bale unroller. So not a whole lot to do other than just roll it out. Guys, this thing has been a game changer to our operation. Along with the Gator, this is a heavy enough and big enough machine to pull this thing around. We've got in some areas 2-foot snow drifts, and this thing doesn't even care. It's so nice to be able to go out and feed in the nice cab and heat and not have to bring a tractor out. And this is all gonna melt in true Michigan fashion. All this cold temperature is only here for the weekend. By the end of next week, it's supposed to be into 50s. So this is gonna be a muddy mess here in about 4 days. And this tool, along with this tool, is going to make feeding cattle so much easier and not create all kinds of mess in your pastures. But generally the way our water works in the winter when it gets cold like this is we kind of figure out exactly what they're going to drink in one day, which has been these 2 tubs. We fill these up once a day, and really that's enough. We come out here and they'll drink almost all of it. This coming out here twice a day has been a little bit more of an exception to the rule because we've been filling it up twice a day and we're not on that same schedule. But it just takes busting a little bit of the ice out. And then I'll probably fill this thing up later when we come out here to fill the second, or to spread the second bale. Today, right now, we'll just break the ice up. The last 3 days we've been unrolling hay over there because the wind was coming out of the south and it was a heavy wind, and we come out here and the cattle are hanging out in this little valley down here, so that's where we decided to feed them at for 3 days because it was so cold. And that's what those marks are. It's a heavily manure area now where they fertilized all that area because that's where we concentrated most of our feeding the last 3 days. And they really stampeded that area and left a little bit of hay behind. They were eating most of the hay because they definitely needed it. Now you can see what that's doing is it's concentrating all the manure in the areas that we want the manure to be in for the cattle to really be fertilizing the soil. This hill right here is a spot that really needs a lot of nutrients. And since the wind's not as bad today, and we are still feeding them twice, I'm not so concerned about keeping them out of the wind. We're gonna go ahead and continue feeding right across this whole field. But you can see some good hay. And this hay, they'll clean almost all of it right up. When you roll hay out like this, they will pretty much eat every bit of it. And what they do leave behind, like maybe some scraggling pieces like this, that just ends up as fertilizer for your soil. All right, I wanted to show this a little bit closer where we were feeding the last couple days. Kind of see a little swirl there. But this is what it looks like up close. I mean, they're hardly leaving anything behind. They're eating a lot of it. I mean, they are stampeding it, some of it down in. You can see a heavily concentrated area of manure where they were congregating the most out of the wind. But up and down this whole hedgerow here, this is a woods, and this is a big hill with a hedgerow on top of it. This is where they were spending most of their time, and you can see we fed about 5 bales of hay in here. It's real interesting to see this, you know, how much manure and urine and leftover hay. We just fertilized this whole area a ton, and also kept the animals safe by letting them get this nice wind block. So it all works really well. Let's go load up another bale. Gonna drop this bale right here until this afternoon, and then we're gonna go have a little fun in the snow. guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. You seen Allison and I had some fun in the snow here after chores, but this is only gonna last for a very short time. It's going to be getting up to like 57 degrees at the end of this week. I had a couple people ask, do a follow-up on the wood stove. Blaze King says that it'll get a 30-hour burn time, and I can tell you it will definitely get a 30-hour burn time. After 17 hours of burn, there was still logs left in the fire, and I'm burning ash wood, which if you know anything about ash, it burns hot and fast. And I am very, very impressed with this wood stove. So I appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. God bless.